Teachers know that provocative discussion is a powerful teaching strategy, yet it is difficult to get all students to participate effectively. Good discussion requires students to speak up and say what they truly think, feel, and believe, and many students are reluctant to take this risk. They are afraid to look stupid if their comments are viewed as incorrect or inappropriate. Speaking up is difficult for new or first-generation college students, and it is particularly risky for ESL students who are embarrassed about their accents or fear they'll use the wrong words or that people won't understand them.
It's the different teaching style from American and Asians. We are not speaking for 10 years during our high school and primary school years. So just like becoming our habit.
Well, along with being able to convey your ideas, you also get to meet new people in the class. And the more people you meet, the more comfortable you feel to be able to speak up.
When I moved back to the US, I took English ESL class, and I was just so shy. You know, the teacher just talked to me, and my face just turned red, and I was like, uh-oh.
Like for those ordinary discussion, every time the instructor asks us to think and share, I know I'm not gonna share in class, so I'm not gonna think. But like for this activity, think, pair, share, I know I'm gonna say something to the person next to me, so it gives me some motivation to really think about the question.
It's hard for me to talk in front of groups, but when you talk to a partner and you kind of learn their ideas, you feel like you have to share their idea, and you kind of overcome your own anxiety because you've learned something.
I think this is more progressive as far as having different ethnicities and different age groups and classrooms and stuff, and all these experiences come together.
With this time that teachers allocate for you just to think, it encourages, to form your opinions and your thoughts about the particular subject at hand.
My class is full of these kinds of students, so I'm using a collaborative learning technique known as Think, Pair, Share. In this film clip, I will have been lecturing on the Urban Folk Revival. I'll stop lecturing, pose a question, and ask students to take a few moments to think about an answer. Then I'll tell them to pair up to discuss their answers before sharing with the entire class. Hence, Think, Pair, Share. This cult reduces the risk associated with discussion because it gives students time to clarify their thoughts and rehearse their comments before speaking up in the whole class. My learning goal here is for students to recognize the political power of music and to help give that power personal significance by asking students to relate it to their own lives.
When music was used as a political purpose during the Civil Rights Movement, they sang the song "We Shall Overcome," which gave Black Americans the self-confidence and self-esteem that they needed to stand up and fight.
I come from Jordan. The singer has to sing about the Queen and the King of Jordan to encourage people to fall in love with them.
Marvin Gaye, the album called What's Going On, it carries a political message. It talks about drug abuse, poverty, environment, political corruption, and also it carries the anti-Vietnam War message.
During the Cold War, I used to be in a country with a socialist regime, Ethiopia, which was, and they used to teach us in kindergarten and up International, which was the national anthem for Soviet Union, and it's like ingrained now. I can say it to you basically until now.
Like during slavery, when the plantation owners took the drums away from the slaves so they couldn't communicate among each other and send messages and stuff.
Excellent idea. I love these connections that you are all making. Think, Pair, Share is not typically graded. However, I do grade it using a variation of another cult called dialogue journals. I ask students to organize all their lecture and discussion notes into an in-class portfolio and submit this to me for grading 3 times a term. I review their portfolio and assign grades based on the quality and quantity of their in-class work. For example, for Think, Pair, Share, I read what they wrote regarding their own thoughts as well as what they learned from their partner and the whole class discussion.
It's an excellent way to meet women because then you get to know them, you get a little one-on-one basis with them, do a little group study with them, and then maybe later on you get to hook up with them later. We'll see.